straight back to India now, where the Aussie hero who helped rescue 41 miners trapped underground in India for 17 days is on the phone. Arnold Dix joins us now, live on Today. Arnold, thank you so much for being with us. Can you hear us all right, my man?
Yep, I think I can. Hang on, I can see you both as well. Is that Carl, Sarah?
Yeah, it
See you
is.
both. Yeah. Yes, excellent.
How are you feeling?
Yeah. Hey, I've lost you again.
How are you feeling?
Hello. Look, it's like a miracle's just happened here. Like in the history of the world, I've never seen anything like. Well, I mean, around the whole history of the world, but I've done disasters my whole life, and I've never seen anything like this.
Wow.
We've got we've had a mountain collapse. We've had people trapped. We've got avalanches. We've got all of that. And somehow, in amongst all of that, despite all the odds being against us, the experts have all come together. All the Army, the Air Force, all the agencies, the experts, whatever. And we did it. Like, no one's hurt. Like, no one. Not even one drop of blood. Somehow or other, we've managed to rescue all these people, and it's just phenomenal. And at a time when the whole world is demonstrably absolutely nuts, all just nice people got together and did what was impossible. I just think it's fantastic. Just fantastic.
Arnold, it absolutely is fantastic. It's truly incredible when you think about this 17 days, 41 miners. I mean, the task at hand must have been so incredibly complex for you.
We're talking hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of tons of mountain that we had to somehow burrow through, with the risk of the whole thing collapsing, earthquakes. It's like out of one of those crazy American movies. I mean, this is like it's like, okay, so there's Arnold Schwarzenegger and then there's just little old me, no muscles, right? And we've actually done it. Like, ours is real. Like, we have actually managed to pull off a miracle up here. And the whole country's gone nuts. Someone's told me that there's even a meme because I look a bit like Santa Claus, which is quite funny in its own way. And so I think once you get a sort of a Santa Claus meme of yourself, A, you're old, and B, it's pretty cool. But the whole, there's guns being shot, not at each other, actually up in the air. Thank you very much, rest of the world. We've got all the different nations here, all the nations who politically might not be bestest friends, are all here helping one another because actually we care about one another. And it's just, for me, it's like a symbol of this is what nice people do.
Yeah.
And not all these crazy, totally shithead lunatic people. This is what real nice people do to help one another. And we have shown the world that being good and nice and looking after other people's kids is what we should do. I'm just over the moon. I feel like I'm having a sort of a John Lennon moment up here because the gurus and everything are involved. You'll see pictures. We've got incense being burnt, and I've got I've got a swastika on my head because that's a religious symbol up here. And this is the land of the gods. And I tell you what, we've just performed something amazing.
It's
because we like nice.
Arnold, I watched this vision here of them looking through a piece of tubing. It reminded me so much of Beaconsfield, nearly 20 years ago now. But every moment of this was so delicate. Heavy machinery had to be brought in from all around the country. Just again, scale that up for us, the logistics of this operation and how it was for you to coordinate.
Well, firstly, the reason this tunnel's here is this is a really, really remote part of northern India up in the Himalayas. So there isn't the infrastructure up here to do anything big because it's the whole point. We're up in the land of the gurus. This is in a valley known to have the four most sacred temples for the Hindu people, the four gods. And so say, for example, you might say to me, you'd like to burrow through a mountain because we want to rescue some men. So what we're going to do for today, like our stretch target, is we want to bring in a huge machine. We want to stick it on top of a mountain, and then we want to dig a hole straight down, and we want to hit the top of a tunnel. Well, we did it. We did that. That's not even. Oh, Can you hear me, or is it all?
Yes, riveted.
Yeah. Sorry, my phone's all going crazy, and we somehow managed to get all of that stuff in. We got that little vision you've got looking through the drain pipe. Somehow or other, it was like poking a needle through. Well, it is poking a needle through. I don't know, 1 million tons of rubble in a mountain that's hollowed itself out. So not only is it collapsed, but above the collapse zone is a huge hollow mountain ready to collapse a little bit more. So at any time the whole thing could come in on top of us. And somehow we managed to do that. And then we managed to eventually get a second one in, because the poor guys had only been surviving on like peanuts and lentils and stuff. And then we got a bigger one in, and so we could give them a bit of warm food, and they were pretty happy about that. And then like, now what to do? And so all the engineers, all the Indian engineers who are just awesome, because they deal with these sort of conditions all the time, we kind of figured it out. It's a bit like, that was it Apollo 13 mission, and you're at mission control and they go, oh, what are the astronauts got? Well, it's a bit like that, like, what do we got and how are we going to get them out? And we just knew we'd figure it out. We just didn't know what it would be. And eventually we somehow managed to sort of squirrel our way underneath, like just a little pipe, just big enough for a person, like not a big pipe, but we eventually managed to get through. And it's just, mind-blowing, really.
That last little bit too, it can always be the most excruciating, right? When you're so close.
Yeah.
To manage to get them out and to get them out okay, given the complexities, given the sheer danger. How was it for you mentally to deal with in those last, hours?
What we did, we'd had a meeting, and this was right up to like the most senior level in the Indian government and the Indian Army and the Indian Air Force and the Indian, like everybody, right? So you imagine it's like, again, one of those sort of C-grade movies, and everyone's in the room. Well, we really were, right? We're all in the room, and we don't even have a computer screen, because we don't have computer screens, we don't have a whiteboard. We don't have any of that, because like we're in a really remote location. We're like, right, what are we going to do? So we all talk, and we talk to each other, and all really friendly. I mean, with emotion, but friendly. So no yelling and screaming, and no, my hat's bigger than your hat. I'm just converting it because I think it's morning, so I don't want to use the other way I could describe that. So we don't have any of that going on, and we've just got people all sitting around going, how are we going to do it? How are we going to do this? And the thing is with this game that we're playing is if we make a wrong move, everyone dies. And not only does everyone die who's in there, but probably us as well. So it's a really sobering sort of environment to work in. And the whole time we're balancing, we've got press outside, so that you walk outside, and the Indian press, that just got to love them, because it's like a Bollywood movie, but like, and they're all really like, and they all stay at the same place. Like we all actually, after a day of all like yelling at each other and all of that, then we all come back to the same hotel and have lentils together, which is really funny. So and then I'd go back. So I worked through the night as well, and so the army gave me a tent, and so I could hang out with the army in the tent, which is kind of cool too. Like, so you could say to your grandkids, I used to hang out with the Indian Army, all that sort of stuff.
Do you know?
So, but in the we went millimetre by millimetre. That last 10 metres that we've just done today, we did that. Okay, it wasn't 1 millimetre. It was actually 100 millimetres at a time. 100 mil, and we had men in a pipe. We call like these lovely guys who were happy to go down this pipe, and with their hands, they would pull out 100 mil of rock. And then we'd push a little bit further at a time, and we were inching our way, because if we triggered another avalanche, it was all over. So it was like softly, like with a feather sort of thing. So yeah, so I've got to say I'm feeling pretty happy.
You're literally talking about millimetre perfect here, aren't you? And this is the thing. I mean, You should be happy, Arnold, because, I mean, we're just reading about the incredible efforts of yours and how people were so grateful to simply have you there, the reassurance that you provided, the fact that you were the one who gave them the hope that they would be able to get out. I mean, there's a lot of pressure that comes with that, Arnold, but also just the praise and the absolute gratitude that these people have for you. It's incredible.
Well, when I did it, it was really funny, like, because I know no one listens to your show, right? So there's no one listening. We're just talking. So no one in Australia will hear this. But after I said it, my colleagues rang me and they said, "Are you completely insane? Do you know what you're saying?" And I said, "Yeah, I know what I'm saying." Because if you look at what I said from when they dropped me in the chopper, and I went and had a look, and I came out and everyone was feeling all depressed and miserable because we got about a week and things were looking pretty grim. Like if you sort of were playing, oh, what's a good game? One of those. Anyway, if you looked at where the cards were in our deck, you wouldn't have been putting any money on us, right? Like we were looking pretty poor. Anyway, I went and had a look and I had a bit of a think. And I thought to myself, hang on, everyone's still alive. Actually, they're all alive. So if we, and we've managed to get a pipe in for air, and we've also been able to, we can just like send peanuts and like dry food down it as well. And I think we had a way of getting water to them because it was downhill. I think we could dribble some water through. So we knew they had water and we knew they had dry food and we know they've got air and they're not hurt and we can get medicine to them. So, okay, it's a bit like being at school. So now what are we going to do? Because actually we've got everything to lose, but everything's okay. It's actually okay. Everyone's alive. So how are we going to, so that's why I just stepped out to, it wasn't even a news conference. It was just, I got mobbed. And I just said, because they go like, what are you going to do? Where are they going to come? And I just said, 41 men are going to be home safe and no one's going to get hurt. So that was my first statement. And they're all like, whoa, he's mental. And then my second statement was, because they then asked me when it was going to be, and I said, and again, you can check the videos, because again, my friend said, you are completely lost the plot. And I said, they were dancing for Diwali when they went in, and they'll be home in time to sing Christmas carols at Christmas.
Oh, my God.
And so, again, everyone's like, he's doubly mental, but it's kind of cool. And by messaging it that way, what I was saying, not only to the people, was, look, stop getting stressed about how long it takes and let's concentrate on how we do it. And so long as we do it, like I mean, I'm just thinking about what I'd said and it even seems more ridiculous now that we've done it. But so long as we concentrate on our mission and so long as we collectively value the human lives and so long as we bring all of our energy together, we'll find a way, because at the moment we don't have an emergency. What we have is a difficult problem to solve, and we'll be able to solve it. But just let's think about this.
I mean,
let's think very carefully about this.
Arnold, you are a remarkable human being, and you're calm. The way that you've been able to coordinate this amongst that calm, I mean, was there emotion for you at the end?
Yeah, of course. Of course there's emotion, because I actually see this as a battle between what good people can do when they've got to focus on doing the right thing and looking after other people's children, which is really what I was doing. I mean, really all I'm doing is having a neighbour call and say, hey, I've got trouble with the kids, can you come and help?
Bit more than that,
That's what
Arnold.
this is all about. But it is. But it's about helping your friends. It's about like when I got the call to come from the government, it wasn't like, oh, let's discuss, anything. It was like, okay, I'll be there as soon as I can, right? Which is what you would do. Now compare that with what else is happening in the world. What this is about what nice people do. It's about what you do, what we'd all do to help. And somehow, I don't know, in fact, I can't quite figure it. I don't know how things have got so complicated.
Hey, Arnold,
it's really simple.
We're almost out of time, but what are you going to do now? Because I have a feeling you're going to be a fairly significant star,
Yes.
and not just in India but around the world, what are you going to do?
Well, I've sent a message to my wife, who thankfully doesn't watch the telly much. So she'd say
Where is
things to
she?
me like, she's in Melbourne, so we live at Monbulk in Melbourne, and she'd say things to me like, "Sweetie, you're not going in the tunnel, are you?" And I'm like, "No, I'm fine, no way." And then she'd see a picture of me in the tunnel, and I'm like, "Oh, I only just went in briefly, just quickly went in." And so I have a very happy life in Melbourne, and so I'm looking forward to coming back. I know I've got another one of those bucket list things tomorrow, because the local guru guy wants me to visit his temple in the morning, so I'm desperately trying to organise that. And then the government is sending me a helicopter to chopper me down to Derridin, so it's going to be like the MASH movie thing. And so I'm like, how cool? That is like way cool. But you want to know what's not cool? Like, seriously?
Yeah.
I will be a health hazard to the whole of Australia. I haven't been able to wash my clothes. I stink. So there's no way immigration or whatever it is should let me through. I should be put in that queue, and they should squirt me with a pressure hose, I reckon,
No.
when I get there. So.
We'll be welcoming you back with open arms, Arnold. You absolute legend.
Mate, we
You
really...
are such a beautiful man,
We
honestly.
appreciate you being with us, my man. What an extraordinary thing to be part of.
Okay. Hey,
and
thanks,
the
everyone.
centre
I got
of-
lots of lovely... Okay.
Yeah. Go well, my friend. Go well.
You're
Okay.
just wonderful. We need more
Okay.
people like you, Arnold. Thank you again. Hey there, Today fans. Sarah and...
What's my name again?
Oh, my goodness. Carl.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel, though. Subscribe now for more news, special reports, and amazing Aussie stories.
And Carl misbehaving,
Whoa,
of course.
that never happens.
Always happens.
What's she talking about?